Dear students, now we are going to discuss the mechanism of enzyme action. That means what are the events take place at the time of a reaction catalyzed by an enzyme. And what about the association between enzyme and substrate? Simply, what are the events taking place at the time of a chemical reaction to convert a substrate into product by a particular enzyme? Mechanism of enzyme action. That is a mechanism of catalysis, catalytic mechanism of enzyme. Okay, so first event, first one is binding of a substrate at a binding site or active site. Binding site of an enzyme. Okay, so it was not properly inserted, just binding, physical association, 10 or 15% on, not completed. Second event, once the substrate is in close association with a concerned enzyme, the substrate is able to induce substrate induces. Okay, so here substrate is able to inducing the enzyme. Okay, so stimulating the enzyme or little bit able to alter the enzyme binding site. So substrate induces a binding site morphology or dimensions of a binding site to fit into that binding site. So substrate is able to induce. Substrate induces the binding site to change its dimensions or shape according to size of the substrate. Okay, so while eating, the diameter of or width of opening of our mouth depends on size of that food substrate. Small one, small opening. Large one, large opening. So that food is able to induce, size of that one is able to induce this one to fit according to dimensions of the substrate. Okay, so substrate is able to induce binding site, means enzyme. Inducing the enzyme to change binding site according to dimensions of the substrate. Third event. Now, substrate fits into binding site firmly. Substrate fits into binding site. Now it is closely associated with that. Fourth one. So now the complex, we'll see the complex. Fourth event according to given statement in the textbook. So enzyme causes breaking and making of bonds. Bonds to convert bonds, to convert or to transform substrate to product. Between substrate and product, a number of altered states of matter, transition structural states of matter produce simply unstable compounds. Okay, so these are the events. So enzyme with a substrate, these two are reacting with each other. Generally, enzyme is specific to a specific substrate and vice versa. Gives rise enzyme substrate complex. Take the complex. Okay, so this enzyme substrate complex is a highly reactive complex. What is this highly reactive? Means able to convert substrate to product. Highly reactive, and that is a transient temporary association only. Next, enzyme product complex and enzyme and product. So now once the enzyme is free, now it is able to accept one more substrate. Okay, so what about the catalytic activity of enzyme? So this is called as a catalytic cycle. Catalytic cycle. Okay, right? So catalysis means formation of association between these two complex, conversion of substrate to product, and dissociation. So what about the role of that enzyme here? It is a catalytic cycle. It is able to convert one more substrate into product. So these are the events which are taking place at time of a so-called conversion of a substrate into product. Actually, two theories are there, but they are a little bit beyond NCERT textbook. Two theories. One is, first one, lock and key hypothesis. Lock and key hypothesis. A particular key is able to open or unlock a particular lock or not. So like that, here key is an enzyme. Substrate is compared with lock. So a particular key is able to open a particular lock. So lock opened means product, for example. So according to lock and key, here, what is that lock and key here? Here, key is enzyme. Key is enzyme. Okay, substrate is lock. That was proposed by Emil Fischer. Emil Fischer proposed lock and key hypothesis. Okay, so like how that key is able to open or able to unlock a so-called lock. Here substrate means the enzyme is able to convert substrate to product. That is one. That is a lock and key hypothesis. So the mechanism of enzyme action compared with lock and key. And second one is induced fit theory. Induced fit theory proposed by Koshland. Koshland. What is the induced fit theory? According to induced fit. For example, this is a binding site and this is a substrate. So what about the size of the substrate more than the dimensions of the binding site or not? So now substrate is able to induce binding site according to its dimensions, like that. So this is a induced fit or not? Substrate is able to induce enzyme binding site to change its dimensions according to dimensions of the substrate. This is a induced fit theory. In NCERT, at one location, induces was given. Substrate is inducing the enzyme to alter binding site dimensions according to substrate morphology. Then only it is able to fit into binding site. So what are the two hypotheses to explain the mechanism of enzyme action on substrate? One is lock and key hypothesis. Always a particular key is able to open a particular lock. And second one is induced fit theory by Koshland. Okay, so that is a beyond NCERT. If the question you use it. So that's about a mechanism of enzyme action. What are the factors affecting catalytic activity of an enzyme? So catalytic activity of enzyme depends on many factors. Out of all, in our textbook, they discussed a certain number of factors influencing the rate of the reaction. Before going to that one, my question is, what are the factors which are able to decide academic rate, academic progress of a student? So many are there or not? All these factors, maybe student health, faculty teaching, question paper, and other academic allied things, they must be at optimum level. Then only the yield of the student is optimum or beyond that level also. Okay, so like that, what are the factors able to regulate catalytic activity of enzyme? Okay, so first one, temperature. Temperature. Most of the enzymes are thermosensitive, not able to work at a high temperature, not able to work at a low temperature. At high temperature, they are subjected to denaturation. Reason? Most of those are proteinaceous. Most of the enzymes are thermolabile, sensitive. So for their catalytic activity, optimum temperature is required. Optimum temperature for most of the enzymes is maximum, except a few cases, is roughly 25 to 30 degrees, or 40 also you can take. 40 also correct. Up to 40. But actually 25 to 30 is the best one. Okay, so optimum temperature means the temperature at which the rate of the reaction is maximum, or velocity is maximum. That is called as optimum temperature. So if the temperature is low, low temperature, extreme low, cold climatic conditions are less than a required optimum temperature. Definitely, what about catalytic activity of enzyme? Enzymes, they become temporarily inactive. Enzymes inactive. Temporarily. Okay. So there is no permanent damage, no permanent damage. They remain inactive only. They are not denatured. Not denatured. Okay, so if optimum temperature is maintained, if conditions are favorable, they are able to resume their activity. So there is no permanent damage in the morphology or the structure or catalytic property of that enzyme. So low temperature is not able to denature the enzyme permanently, just inactive only. For example, some food items preserved within the fridge, refrigerator. Generally, they are not subjected to damage. Reason, enzymes are inactive. Same food, if it is outside, definitely that will be spoiled by bacteria and fungi. So whatever the bacteria, fungi present on the food within the refrigerator is at inactive state. Enzymes also inactive. So once optimum temperature is available, what about the metabolic rate? Come back to normal. Means enzymes are able to regain their catalytic activity if the temperature, optimum temperature is restored. So at low temperature, they are inactive. High temperature, that is well known to you. High temperature permanently denatured. Even if optimum temperature is maintained. Okay, so enzymes are not able to come back to their normal function, permanently damaged. Okay, so compulsory optimum temperature is mandatory. So in our textbook, one graph was given. Y-axis, x-axis. Okay, so here rate of the reaction and temperature. Rate of the reaction or velocity of the reaction. Rate of the reaction. So initially temperature is 0, for example, 0 temperature, no yield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly, for example, 25 to 30 degrees. Here I'm taking 30 degrees or 25 degrees. So slowly, what about the rate of the reaction? Increased. Okay, up to here. And any further increase in the rate of the temperature is associated with the decline beyond that level, up to 40 or 50 degrees. So in this case, for example, only here optimum temperature is 25 to 30 degrees. So where, what about the rate of the reaction? Maximum. This is called as V maxima. Maximum rate of the reaction. You can write V maxima. Maximum rate of the reaction. So below that optimum temperature or beyond requirement, definitely what about the V maxima reduces? V maxima means, in this case, in a given period of time at optimum temperature, maximum rate of the reaction. For example, one substrate converted to product, 2 converted, 3 converted, 30 converted, but here 28, 26, 20, 1, 2. So it is a bell-shaped curve. This one is a bell-shaped curve. Next, second factor, pH. Second one, negative logarithm of hydrogen ion concentration that is able to change polarity, charge of amino acids. So amino acids are the structural components of proteins or not. Okay, so in all proteinaceous enzymes, optimum pH is mandatory. So for most of the enzymes, optimum pH is 5 to 6.5, acidic pH. Some may need alkaline pH also, 2 pH also, but it is common for most of the enzymes. Some are having 7 pH also, neutral pH also, 7.5 also. So it is variable, but optimum for most of the enzymes is 5 to 6.5 around. Okay, so here also, what about the same graph? So pH, concentration, rate of the reaction. Here also given one, same curve, bell-shaped curve. So this one is optimum pH. V maxima at such pH. Here I'm taking 5 to 6. You can take V maxima. That is also bell-shaped. So below that pH level, rate of the reaction less. Beyond that also, more than that also, the rate of the reaction declines. So it is applicable to most of the enzymes. Some exemptions are there. So that is about pH. And third one, concentration of substrates. Concentration of substrates. Okay, so before moving into third one, for example, bus capacity is 40 members. So it is able to transport 40 members from one terminal to other terminal or starting point to destination. Its capacity is in a given period of time, 40 members, for example, only. But in the bus stop, only 2 passengers are available. So now what about the rate of the reaction of that bus? Only 2 members, because the availability of passengers 2 only. But its maximum capacity, maximum velocity, 40 members in a given period of time. But how many are available? Only 2. So in a given period of time, what about the rate of the reaction? Only 2 members. Okay, next, one more bus, same stop. Okay, so now 100 members are available, passengers 100 members, but seating capacity is 4 only. So in a given period of time, now it is able to carry how many? 40 only. But what about the available number of passengers? 100. Even though 100 are available, what about the maximum velocity of that bus? 40 members only. So even if concentration of substrates is increased, means the number of passengers increased, there is no increase in the velocity of that bus, means rate of the reaction in a given period of time. Reason, number of seats or maybe buses is the limiting factor. So in this case, for example, one engine, take one engine for example, or 5 enzyme molecules. 5 enzyme molecules. Number of substrates available, 10 substrates. 10 substrates converted into 10 products, for example, only in a given period of time. How many enzymes? 5 enzymes. Okay, so each enzyme is able to convert 2 substrates into products. That is a 5 into 2, for example, only. Okay, so all of a sudden, here, for example, time consumed is 10 minutes, for example, only. So in 10 minutes time, 5 into 2 converted. Now, 1000 substrates available here. But enzyme number is same, 5 enzymes only. Given a period of time, 10 minutes only. How many products? 10 only. Initially, the rate of the reaction is more. But in the second case, even though concentration of substrates is increased, there is no increase in the velocity of the reaction. Out of 10 minutes, and out of 5 enzyme molecules, what about the number of substrates converted into product? Only 10. So initially rate of the reaction increased, but if the concentration of substrates is more than the saturation of that enzyme, what about the rate of the reaction? It remains same. There is no enhancement. Reason, in this case, the limiting factor. Here, limiting factor is number of enzyme molecules. For example, enzyme molecules increased from 5 to 10. What about the number of substrate? 20 into products. Okay, so doubled. And 15 enzyme molecules, 30 substrates, for example, only. 20 enzyme molecules, 20 into 2, 40 substrate molecules. So in this case, not only the substrate concentration, enzyme molecules also important. Okay, so more is the number of enzyme molecules. Definitely more is the rate of the reaction. If all enzymes are busy, means all binding sites of all enzymes are with a substrate. What about the rate of the reaction? Maximum. Furtherly, even the substrate concentration is increased, there is no increase in the velocity of that. There the limiting factor is enzyme molecules. If a number of enzyme molecules are increased, definitely more will be the productivity. So to understand that concept, here we are having one graph. What is that one? So third factor is concentration of substrates. Concerned specific substrates. Okay, so this is very, very important. Y-axis, X-axis. Okay, so this one, concentration of substrates. Rate of the reaction. Rate of the reaction or velocity. Okay, so concentration of substrates 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, like that. 7, 8, 9, 10, and continue it up to certain extent, up to 15. Okay, so what about the rate of the reaction? For example, only 2 enzyme molecules given. 2 enzyme molecules, for example, only. So in a given period of time, right, for example, at this level, for example, only. So what about the rate of the reaction maximum? So that is a V maxima. What about the number of enzyme molecules? Number of enzyme molecules. For example, take 5 molecules. So in a given period of time, 5 enzyme molecules. Okay, at which concentration? For example, 7 substrates, for example, only. Okay, so what about the number of products formed? Okay, for example, 100 products. It's not a real one, just dummy physical quantity. Okay, so any further increase in the substrate concentration is not associated with the increase in the productivity. Same straight line. Here also 100, 100, 100, 100, 100 only. Reason? Number of enzyme molecules is the limiting factor. Okay, right? So in this case, this one V maxima, this is called as a V maxima. V maxima in this case. If a number of enzyme molecules are increased, definitely there will be increase in V maximum, means the maximum rate of the reaction. So according to given data, 5 enzymes and concerned substrates, V maximum is 100 products. Okay, right? Next. V maxima by 2, half maxima, half of the rate of the reaction. So this is a V max by 2. For example, only 50 products, for example only. What about the number of products here? 50. to understand the concept. So now this one, concentration of substrate, Km. Km is a Michaelis-Menten constant. Michaelis actually this was explained by Michaelis-Menten. So Km value is a Michaelis-Menten constant. What is a Km? Km means concentration of substrates at which half of the rate of reaction completed. That is V maxima by 2. Okay, right? So there is about a substrate concentration. For example, substrate concentration, enzyme number, enzyme satiety, substrate concentration is increasing. Okay, so for example, 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Concentration of substrates. What about the affinity of enzyme with the substrate? Affinity of enzyme with the substrate declines. So this arrow indicates affinity of enzyme with substrate. Affinity means able to affinity of enzyme declines, inversely proportional. What is the affinity of enzyme? Initially, the affinity of enzyme with the substrate is more. For example, initially we started eating so breakfast or lunch or dinner or whatever it is. Best example, KFC, chicken piece, first piece, very fast or not. See, what is the affinity between these two? First, initially, chicken curry, fast waiting, affinity more. Half of the rate of the reaction come means half of the stomach filled. Initially, what about the moment? Fast moment, fast, more affinity. Half completed. See, what about the moment? Slow movement. So the affinity between, what is that affinity rate of movement here? Declining or not? It depends on saturation. So like that, enzyme molecules are very less, but more number of substrates are available. So definitely the affinity of enzyme, here affinity means the rate of the catalytic activity by enzyme on the substrate gradually reduces. Reason, more number of substrates are there. Okay. So this relationship means a substrate concentration affinity of enzyme is inversely proportional. So Km value means substrate concentration is a inverse measure, inversely proportional to affinity of enzyme with substrate. For example, Km value 1, for example, more is the rate of the reaction. Km value is increasing, substrate concentration. What about the affinity of enzyme with the substrate? It declines. So Km value means concentration of substrate will give us the affinity of enzyme with the substrate. Only one enzyme molecule, for example, only one enzyme molecule. Number of substrates are there. Definitely declines or not. For example, myself, I am botany faculty. One student is asking doubt. Okay, I can answer it very fast. Okay, so within 5 minutes, 10 students, what is this? What is this? They are questioning. How can I answer? My affinity with the student will be very less or not. Like that, 70 members at a time explain this question, this, what is this? If they question all these things, how can I answer? Reason, myself, only one limiting factor. But what about the number of students? 70 members. So now, if the concentration means number of students increased, what about the affinity of a faculty with the student? Declines or not? That is the meaning of a so-called affinity of enzyme with substrate declines if the concentration of substrate increases. That is true. Okay. Now, last one, last factor. What are the factors? Fourth one is chemicals or inhibitors, enzyme inhibitors. Certain number of chemicals are able to interact with the binding site of enzyme. In addition to, actually, a particular enzyme is a specific to specific substrate. How a key is able to open, lock, they are specific or not. Like that, enzyme is specific to the substrate. In addition to main substrate, certain number of other factors, chemicals, interfere with the so-called binding site of the enzyme. They are able to reduce catalytic activity of that enzyme. Okay, so they are called as inhibitors. These inhibitors are able to shut down binding site, are able to cause denaturation of that enzyme permanently. For example, student, for example, X is the student. Okay, so he is studious, continuously reading. So what about the specificity of that student? Only reading. One more student joined with that one. He is interacting. He is asking questions. He is deviating the concentration of first student. That is one type of inhibition or not. Second student interacting with the first student. And he is discussing so many things, not only academics, other than academics also. Then what about the rate of the reaction by the concerned student, first student? Declines. Definitely. That is practically proved, evident also. You check it. So like that, the inhibitors are able to damage the enzyme, are able to shut down, are able to decline catalytic activity of that enzyme. What are those inhibitors? First one, competitive inhibitors. This is very, very important. Competitive inhibitors. Competitive inhibitors. Okay, so don't forget that a particular enzyme is specific to particular substrate. Okay, so in this case, substrate and inhibitor. Substrate and inhibitor are morphologically similar. Morphologically similar. 100%. They look like same. Substrate, specific substrate, and inhibitor chemical are morphologically similar. So if there's two things are similar, it leads to confusion actually. Don't write confusion, just I'm using that word. So in this case, substrate and inhibitor both are morphologically similar. Now, substrate and I means inhibitor. Both are molecules only. Okay, so substrate and inhibitor competing for binding site of that enzyme. For example, student 1, student 2. Okay, both are competing for a first bench. Only one seat is available. That is to accommodate only one student. In that bench, the vacancy is only one place is vacant. Okay, so how many students are competing for that? two students. Definitely, any one of them will occupy that one. It depends on strength of the student. Yes or not? Okay, so we'll see. So substrate and inhibitor both are competing for binding site. Here, enzyme is able to accept a substrate whose morphology is similar to its binding site. That is the problem. So what about enzyme? Enzyme accepting a molecule, whatever the molecule, a molecule whose morphology or dimensions, are similar to or same as binding site or active site. For example, lock and key. Okay, almost that key is safe inserted. Accepting or not? Yeah, definitely. So enzyme is blind. Blind means it is able to accept a molecule which is able to fit into binding site. That is the problem. So here binding of substrate or inhibitor at a active site of that enzyme depends on concentration of S and I. I means inhibitor. If the concentration of specific substrate is more than the concentration of inhibitor, specific substrate is able to occupy that binding site. If the concentration of inhibitor is more than the concentration of substrate, definitely inhibitor is able to occupy that binding site. So it depends on concentration gradient between these two. So the deciding factor is concentration gradient of these two factors. Give an example. Here I'm taking one example. This is very, very important. Example is enzyme name succinic dehydrogenase. Okay, succinic dehydrogenase. So what is the main role of this enzyme? This enzyme is able to cause oxidation of succinic acid oxidation. Here I'm writing oxidation. That is in reduced form undergoing oxidation. And FAD. Now in your textbook, it was not completely given, but I'm explaining completely. We'll see what is FAD. Don't worry about what is FAD. So succinic acid is undergoing oxidation. Okay, so succinic acid after oxidation, fumaric acid plus one molecule of reduced, that is FADH2. Okay, so what is the role of this one? Transfer of electrons, 2 electrons, reducing power 2H plus from the succinic acid. This is the main reaction of the enzyme. So what is the role of here I'm giving one function, two functions are there. This is enough for this concept. We'll see succinic dehydrogenase at the time of respiration, not now. That just I'm giving one example. So in this case, succinic acid is able to cause oxidation of succinic dehydrogenase is able to cause oxidation of succinic acid to fumaric acid. That is the specific role of this enzyme. For example, now this is a succinic dehydrogenase. Succinic dehydrogenase. Succinic dehydrogenase enzyme plus this one is specific substrate, that is a succinic acid, the dummy one, succinic acid. Next, inhibitor. See how the inhibitor is. This is the inhibitor. For example, on inhibitor, almost same or not? What is that inhibitor? Malonate. Okay, malonate is a competitive inhibitor. For example, here succinic acid, only one molecule. Malonate, 10 molecules or 100 molecules. Definitely in this competition, we is able to occupy binding site. Definitely inhibitor. So gives rise enzyme. So inhibitor complex. Enzyme inhibitor complex. Enzyme inhibitor complex or a malonate complex. But actually, which one should bind succinic acid? Instead of succinic acid, malonate is binded. So now there is no oxidation of succinic acid to fumaric acid. So no oxidation of succinic acid. Okay, so reason, now the enzyme is with malonate. So a deviation from metabolic pathway or not, succinic acid to fumaric acid stopped. Now enzyme is with the malonate. So now there is no oxidation of succinic acid. For example, if concentration is reversed, 100 here, 1 only. Now succinic acid binds with the enzyme that is converted into fumaric acid. This is one of the reactions present in TCA cycle. Okay, so these two are morphologically similar, almost they are able to fit into binding site. Right? So here the binding of these two substrates depends on their concentration. More is the concentration, that molecule is able to occupy binding site. So that is a competition or not? In competition, one is a winner, the other is a runner. Like that or not? If the concentration is of malonate is more than succinic acid, who is the winner? Inhibitor. Runner is succinic acid. Second prize. First prize, inhibitor, like that. So that is about competitive inhibition. Now, what about the application of nowadays we are using these competitive inhibitors in medicine? What about the importance of a competitive inhibitor? We will see that the role of competitive inhibitor in the next class, not now. Now we will discuss. Okay.